How's everybody doing? And thanks for tuning in to Wicked Warnings, your number one source for construction and emergency safety strobe lighting equipment for cars, vans, buses, bicycles, tricycles, unicycles, boats, jet skis, RVs, tents, campers, and everything in between, like this really beautiful 2022 Chevrolet Silverado 2500 HD in that deep red color. Really nice truck. This one's got the 6.6 gas engine in it, plenty of power without all the extra cost of the diesel. Come on, diesel haters, drop a comment. Come on, diesel promoters, drop a comment. Let's have a diesel war in the comments. Anyways, what we're looking at here, we got some flashing lights. It's a construction and safety package, obviously. What we've got above the windshield is our auto flasher kit on those factory roof lights. That's a simple kit. It's going to install right in the driver's side A pillar. To flash all 5 lights at once, as you see, is very easy to install. There's a single wire in that A-pillar, and we are working on a plug-and-play solution for behind that A-pillar very soon. So if you like what you see there on that flashing, and of course, you can pick one of 29 patterns. That's just one of them. There's 29. Then that is our auto flasher kit for the cab clearance lights right on Wicked Warnings website. Below that, we have a Phoenix 2X Fusion windshield light. Those will be on the website soon. At the time of filming, they're not. If you like that light and want us to order it, give us an email. Otherwise, check the website and they might already be populated by the time this video airs. That's an amber white Phoenix 2X Fusion light, windshield light. Mounts with either the suction cups included or they give you a permanent mount solution as well if you want to use that. That's what we used here. Below that, in the grill, right underneath the Chevrolet logo, you'll see the same thing we do on almost all of these Chevrolet grills. A real nice installation of 2 of our LIN 8 LEDs. Now, you could do a TIR3 LED in that spot. You could also do a LIN 6 LED in that spot. The reason it works so well is our 90-degree bracket. We have a nice aluminum 90-degree bracket that we mount from the bottom up. That way the screw holes are hidden under that Chevrolet logo in case you ever remove it. And we flip the bracket backwards and put the light on the front of it, and that way it fits right underneath the grill very nicely. I've done this installation on several trucks. This one, being a 2500 HD, does not have active shutters. You know, those Venetian blind type louvers in front of the radiator behind the grill? This truck didn't have it, so it was real easy to run the wiring. If your truck does have it, run the wiring outside of those, around the edges. Don't run through them. You don't want to pinch or inhibit those shutters at all, or you might end up with a check engine light. Here's our off-axis shot. You can see how that LIN 8 light has a really nice linear lens, meaning it works about 180 degrees off to the sides. So you maybe get 170 on this application. Nice, clear warning, even when you're off-axis on a bit of an angle like this. And what I mean, to further that point, is the windshield light has a 40-degree forward-facing lens. You can see how even on a 45-degree, how much less bright that windshield light is. However, the LIN 8 in the grill still retains its brightness. I'm going to illustrate that once more. Dead on forward, that windshield light, killer bright. You can see how it's washing out the camera. Very effective. So are the LIN 8 below it. 45-degree angle. Look how effective the LIN 8 still is, but look how much light loss on the windshield light. It's just a difference in optics, people, from a TIR forward-facing optic to a linear optic. All it is the lens in front of the LED that makes the difference. Speaking on lenses, and linear lenses in particular, in front of the LED, take a look in front of that rear tire. That's our mini thin LED. That's a very small, very low profile, very attractive light. And we have it in amber or amber white, as you see. This light is a split color light, and it doesn't have any of the fancy frills like steady on white or color selectability. It's a simpler light, but it's very low profile, only sticks up about 1/4 inch, comes with a really nice 3M adhesive mount. Make sure you grab some Primer 94 if you're going to use those adhesive mounts. And for a price point, having a nice linear lens like our LIN 8, but in a low profile frame, that mini thin light is a very good light. Now here we are on the side view. You can see that mini thin, very bright, very effective straight on here. But also, as I get on a 45-degree angle to the light head, it doesn't lose its brightness. You still have that extremely bright white and amber flash. That's our mini thin light in the front step pockets. We also have mounted many other lights there. This is our mini thin light. Working our way to the back of the truck. This particular truck, obviously a majority of the danger is coming from behind. He does a little bit of roadside work and he's very concerned for protection from the back end. So what we've got starting down in the bumpers is our LIN 6 in amber. I did a split pattern on that light to keep it illuminated nonstop. You could alternate it like you see the white TIR3s on the license plate, if you prefer, but I wanted to keep that amber bouncing back and forth as you see it. It doesn't really shut off. It just bounces back and forth and really throws a lot of amber all around that rear step this way. But as I said, these are selectable patterns. You can do any kind of combination you like. Working above that, right next to the license plate, we did drill a hole in the bumper for that, but right next to the license plate, we mounted 2 white TIR3s. Come on with the haters in the comments. I guarantee somebody's going to say, oh, too much white. Anyways, here in Chicago, we really need a lot of warning. And this particular design was kind of by the customer. We work together, and I'm going to do whatever the customer wants. So we have 2 white TIR3s right there on the rear plate, facing backwards. They're synchronized to alternate at 75 FPM. And above them, in the back window on a 90-degree bracket, we have our ThinX LED. Now that's an amber white LED. You can see it's synchronized and alternating a double flash of amber and white on each side. The amber bounces back and forth, as does the white. Right above that, you'll see a OEM cargo light flashing. You also might notice that small light in the center of the tailgate by the handle that's flashing as well. That's done via our auto flasher module for the OEM cargo light. It does require cutting 2 wires. They're both easily located right on the passenger side of the dashboard, but as of now, there's no foreseeable plans to have that cargo light be a plug and play. That will be a wire cut kit forever. The connector is just not something I'm going to manufacture. It is very easily accessible though. It's right on the passenger side of the dashboard, very easy to get to and very easy to put back to stock if you did want to reverse that modification. By cutting it there, you're able to either simultaneously flash the cargo light and the tailgate key as you see, or you could alternate them. What you cannot do is split that cargo light and flash driver, passenger, driver, passenger. That cargo light you see right there is a all at one unit only. There's no way to split that up. I've already opened it up and played with it. So if you like it flashing as one unit, right on. That's our auto flasher module that does that. If you don't like it, then just don't order it. No problem there. You can always remove one item from this package if you like. Alrighty, now we're going to talk a little bit about how I wired this particular build and what I'm including in this package to do the exact same stuff. If you want to alternate a little bit, do a little different style, go ahead and review your wire plans, make sure that they're going to follow suit. Feel free to modify it in any way. But here's how this truck was wired here in my shop. The mini thin lights in front of the rear tire, they were both wired up to an 18-2. I then took them backwards up over the fender in the bedside, ran it right over the rear tire, and I tied it in to the Lin 6 ambers that are in each step pocket. Okay? We then went from the Lin 6 ambers inboard towards the license plate, where we tied in each Lin 6 amber to each TIR3. Okay? This is all done in 18-2. We're basically daisy chaining. All right? The TIR3s are then tied together. We're going to add 1 wire just to allow them to synchronize. So there'll be 1 extra wire that we can get from any kind of scrap anywhere. It only needs to be about a foot long. That'll allow you to synchronize those TIR3s together behind the bumper. But your 18-2 is basically just going to be a daisy chain line from starting at the passenger mini thin. It's going to jump over the fender to the passenger Lin 6. It's going to jump in connecting to the TIR3s. It's then going to jump to the driver's Lin 6, and it's going to jump over the fender to the driver's mini thin. At that point, we're going to take that 18-2, and we're going to run it forward along the frame, short distance, and come in right underneath the driver's left foot through the grommet around the emergency brake cable. We'll use our wire insertion tool to get through that grommet. Okay. Now, we're going to give you 50 feet of the 18-2. It's going to be plenty to do this run. In the back window there, you're going to get your ThinX and your 90-degree brackets, and we used a 22-5 to extend those. We did need the synchronization wire, and because the ThinX has a flood feature, I'm going to give you the 22-5 in case you want to activate that. So the 22-5 wire, the way we did it, is we extended it from the passenger light down across behind the rear seat, over to the driver's light where we did our synchronization, and we went from the driver's light forward to the switch. So I'm going to give you 25 feet of the 22-5 for that rear run for your ThinX lighting. That'll carry the ThinX load all the way forward and give you your power ground and your flood if you want for the ThinX lighting in the back window. Above that, we have our auto flasher kit on the cargo. That's going to come comprehensive with everything you need. So all the contents to flash that cargo light are going to come in the auto flasher kit. Around the front of the truck, we got an auto flasher kit on the cab clearance lights. That's also comprehensive. It's going to come with everything that you need. The windshield light, of course, just plugs in the cigarette lighter. Feel free to cut the end of it off if you want, wire it hard, that's up to you, or plug it right in the cigarette lighter. Below that, our LIN 8s are going to mount in the front there with a 90-degree bracket, and we're going to give you another 25 feet of the 22-5 to extend those LIN 8s. Same deal as the ThinX. We're going to go from the passenger LIN 8 over to the driver's LIN 8. We're going to run that inside to the truck to the switch. Here inside the truck, you can see we have a 3/4 inch switch, which I'll allow you to select your color. This one happens to be amber. We like to drill them right here because that way, if you ever added the factory auxiliary switches, you would cut this out, remove that, and the 5-bank auxiliary switch would go right in its place. And what I mean by that is this particular truck, a different truck in the shop, we added the auxiliary switches. As you can see here, this is an option, the factory switches. We can add those here in the shop. If you really need them, email in. We can get them for you and send them to you. But that's why I like to mount my 3/4 switch right about here where switch 3 is, because when and if you upgrade, you basically cut out the 3/4 switch and put in these. Alrighty, I'm going to go ahead and show you right there. That's where we drill our 3/4 hole. We pull back the carpet, drill a hole right there very carefully with a 3/4 unibit on a 12-inch extension. And that's where we put our grommet in to get our wiring through. You could also go through the factory location if you wanted, where the upfitter switches are. However, I find this location to be very useful. We're going to go ahead and put a 3/4 inch grommet in the kit for you. So if you decide to drill here, you can do the same. And as you see, you stuff the carpet right back up in there and looks like you were never even there. Alrighty, so we're going to put that switch in there. We're also going to put a fuse kit in there. I'm going to put 25 feet of 16-2. That 16-2 is going to go from the battery right through the firewall to your switch. That fuse kit's going to go at the battery. This entire system, more than happy to run on a 10-amp fuse. Probably could even run a little bit lower, but I'd put a 10 in there. That'll be fine. And we're also going to put some adhesive line heat shrink and some miscellaneous connectors, everything we think that you need to make this job easy. Feel free to modify or delete anything. If you have factory auxiliary switches, you might want to delete the fuse kit and the 16-2 just because you won't really need it. If you don't have factory auxiliary switches, you probably want to leave that in so you get the switch that we showed and you're able to wire it right to the battery. This particular system, as you can see, is ran to the battery. That way it can stay on when the vehicle is off without any issue. If you would prefer an ignition feed, you'll need to source that from the passenger fuse box. There is ignition studs in the passenger fuse box. You can get ignition power only if you would like all the lighting to turn off with the ignition. All right, 13 minutes. I hope you guys hung with me on this super long video. I hope you like this particular build, and I hope it was explanative. Everything is covered. If you have any questions, let me know. Send an email in to info@wickedwarnings.com. I'll address it. I'll try to add it back to the video. I'm trying to make these videos as thorough as I can. Again, there's no A to Z installation guide that's going to come with this. This video is your guide. So this is everything. This is your explanation. This is your diagram on how to build it and what it's going to look like. Feel free to set your own patterns and add your own style to it as you see fit. Thanks again for tuning in to Wicked Warnings, your #1 source for construction and emergency safety strobe lighting equipment for cars, vans, buses, bicycles, tricycles, everything in between. We'll see you guys on the next video.